if not okay with being fucked up, at least perhaps more honest about it than other folks might be.
What's gonna drive a person to get up on a stage and try to make other people laugh and be like, here, I'm gonna let you judge me for however long I'm up here. And I think that has to come from something very deep inside of you. And for me, it was because I felt dead. The only thing that made me feel alive was trying to make people laugh.
Comedy is a way to translate your darkest thoughts into a form that gives it a little less power.
These years of torture and shame kind of became my superpower, and I think all of us romanticized depression to a degree, but, you know, I'd rather be well. There's nothing more important to me than being funny except being well.
Ladies and gentlemen, the very funny Chris Gethard.
Comedy is not going to save you. And if you are thinking about doing comedy as a substitute for therapy, it doesn't work. I tried for a long time. It doesn't work.
My whole life I've just been mocked. That's it. So nice to meet you, by the way.
Yeah.
It's the most beautiful thing in the world. I love it more than anything, but it's not a safe space to go heal.
I think performing can be a temporary high, but like all temporary highs, it doesn't last. And you can chase that high night after night after night, but eventually there's gonna be a club that's not open, or you're gonna have a night off and you're gonna have to deal with what happens in the silence. So
therapy helps you understand the things about yourself that you are blocked on. It helps you recognize your blind spots. Comedy can be therapeutic, but I don't think it's a substitute for therapy.
I'm able to be a lot more interested in other people and what's going on around me when I take care of myself, because if I don't, then I'm just self-obsessed, you know, and, you know, even if you're self-deprecating, it's narcissism, you know, like you can't even see anything else.
I was opening for Mike Birbiglia on the road. We were driving somewhere in the Midwest. He said to me, what's the darkest it ever got? And I told him about the time that I crashed a car. And we got to the end. It was just the two of us. He just kind of nodded. And then he burst out laughing. And I was like, whoa. And he's like, you gotta tell that on stage. And I was like, no, it's the most fucked up thing I've ever done. He was just like, look, man, you talk about this stuff honestly, and you know yourself pretty well. And you have a chance to make something that no one else can make. And without being too, you know, he wasn't twisting my arm too hard, but he kind of made it clear to me of like, you know, if you're an artist who has a chance to say something that might actually connect with people or help people, and you don't take that chance, what good are you? Like, what good are you?
I've had criticism from people that like, oh my God, you're exploiting your sister's suicide because it's all you talk about, making money off of her corpse. Like, people say horrible, horrible things. But to me, it's like, yeah, if I had a before and after moment in my entire life, it's that moment.
All I can do is make something that I feel would help me. We just did Radio City and I signed 15 different pill bottles.
I think telling stories is as old as humankind. There's something primally comforting.
I was ashamed that I was having these feelings. I was ashamed that I was not perfect. Because in my mind, especially being a father, I wanted to be the best man that my daughter could look up to and go, oh, well, that's a man.
Even years after I went public with it, after I did my show, This American Life contacted me. And they said, we want to do a thing, and you're one of the only people we know who's like weird enough to try something this emotionally risky. We want to have someone's parents interview them, but the person's not allowed to know any of the questions first. And I was like, yeah, that sounds interesting. So they had my dad interview me. And many years after my dad came to understand what was happening, and he and I never really talked about it so much. He just, you know, every once in a while, you doing okay? Everything good with those doctors? And I always wondered, is my dad a little disappointed in me? He asked me, he goes, how come when you were going through that stuff, you never talked to me? And I just said, well, I didn't want to let you down. And you always handled your stuff. And when you were young, you had so much more adversity to deal with than I did. It would almost feel like I was being an ingrate for not understanding how good my life is when intellectually I knew. And I said, and at the end of the day, I guess I just, I didn't really know if you would be able to help me. And my dad said to me, I wouldn't have been able to help you. I would not have known how to help you. And that, as he said that, it filled me with like a panic that like my 13-year-old self used to know. Because I was like, man, I was right. My dad wouldn't know. But then the next sentence he said, he goes, but I would have run through a wall to find the person who would have been able to help you. And I felt so much regret. And one of my only regrets in life is that I underestimated my dad, because that's my dad. And that's him to a T. And he wouldn't have judged me. He would have done what it took to help me. That dude would have, he would have kicked down every door in front of him to keep me safe. And I spent a lot of just bullshit years hiding from it because I didn't want him to be disappointed. And I could have saved myself a lot of agony. And I could have saved the people around me a lot of fear and a lot of anger and frustration if I had just let my guard down earlier. My mission initially was like, make something that tells the truth for real about this stuff. And maybe other people watching it can go like, fuck yeah. But then I realized, no, that's happening pretty easily. The real mission is if your kid is sick, or your cousin is suffering, or the guy on the other side of the cubicle wall shows up and you never know which person you're gonna get. How can I make those people understand that that person's not being a dickhead that day, and that person's not being melodramatic, and it's not because they're going through a phase, it's because they're sick. If you aren't depressed, can I open the door and let you know a little bit what that's like? Because I realized it's hard to help yourself. My parents helped me eventually.
I always wonder, like, if my sister had like Googled why shouldn't I kill myself or something before she did it, which is something that these kids have done, which is how they found my videos. It's like, would she have watched someone who would have convinced her otherwise? And is that all it takes? Is for you to fucking record a video and tell people why they shouldn't kill themselves to really make an impact on a young person? Like, sure.
There's a lot of I love you going on in the stand-up community. I think it's kind of us going, don't die, don't die.
I feel like you guys think that we like choose to be crazy, you know? This is an active choice. Like, I feel like you guys think that we wake up on any given morning and just decide we're gonna have a terrible day. I feel like you guys think we wake up and we're like, oh my God, I'm gonna have such a good day today. I'm gonna hang out with my boyfriend. We're gonna go hang out, see a movie. You know what? No. I have a better idea. I'm gonna wake up, feel fat for 2 hours, then get mad at my boyfriend because he said good morning in a weird tone. Then I'm gonna break up with him in my head. I'm not gonna tell him we broke up. It's none of his fucking business whether we're together or not. Then I'm gonna go spend $200 on jeans that don't fit. Then I'm gonna go eat cucumbers with barbecue sauce on them. Then I'm gonna get mad at him again because he suggested we see a Scarlett Johansson movie. What the fuck is that? Then we go spend 2 hours online looking at wedding dresses. Not a great day for us either, you know? I just think it's funny that guys are never called crazy, because I feel like guys do things that are like crazy, you know? But guys are never called crazy. Like, for a guy to get called crazy, he's gotta be like naked in an alley, jerking off on a dead pigeon, singing Bible hymns, like over the river. But even then, we're like, oh my God, that guy is homeless. That is so sad. Do you have $1? Give him $1. But for a girl to get called crazy, we just have to send you 2 text messages in a row. She's fucking crazy, man. She's fucking stalking me, bro. She's obsessed with me, man. I'm like, I don't know, I'm not crazy. I'm just locked out of the house. Can you let me in the house? I'm not stalking you, I live here. My house, we live together. I'm not obsessed with you, I hate you, so. Guys are never called crazy. But I feel like guys do things that are actually crazy, like things that would put you in an insane asylum. Like, you guys will talk to athletes in the TV, and you think they can fucking hear you. That's literal schizophrenia. That is a mental illness. Like, I was watching some of my guy friends a couple months ago. They were watching a Giants game, and they were talking to Eli Manning, having a conversation with this person. They were like, Eli, listen to me. Eli, listen to me. We have been through this, bro. I'm like, bitch, you have not been through shit with him, man. He cannot hear you, and even if he could hear you, why would he take advice from you? You can't even get your Heinekens in the fucking garbage can. I feel like you guys watching sports should give you a little more sympathy for us, because now you know what it's like to yell at a man and have him completely ignore you. Every day is Sunday for us. You guys say the meanest things to these athletes, the meanest things. Like, they were watching Tom Brady, and they were like, Tom Brady, you suck. Tom Brady sucks. I don't know that much about football, but I'm pretty sure Tom Brady doesn't suck at football. I'm pretty sure you suck. I'm pretty sure all you suck at football. I just wish these athletes would stand up for themselves, you know, against these horrible things you say. I wish just one time Tom Brady would look directly into the camera and be like, hey man, fuck you, I got this. I make $20 million a year and you can't even do a fucking sit-up. Get off my dick, man. That's crazy, you know? But I think there are a lot of things that contribute to us being a little irritable, you know? I think that part of girls being crazy is the fact that being a female is just so frustrating. Like, there's so much work we have to do, there's so much maintenance that goes into it, and most of it we do to make you guys think we're attractive, so we're resentful, you know? I feel like by 9 a.m. we already hate you. Okay, because of all the shit we have to do from 8 to 9 a.m. to make you think we're fucking pretty. Like, do you know the kind of shit that goes on in her bathroom, sir? You don't know. You're wearing shorts. And what are those? Are those Crocs? Oh my God, white people are so embarrassing. Unbelievable. And you don't understand the kind of stuff that goes on in the bathroom. She's working hard and you're wearing your pajamas. This is unbelievable. Do you realize the things that we do? We spray aerosol. We inhale aerosol every day, okay? Then we put on makeup, which is just chemicals and poison. Then we put on perfume, which is pure alcohol. It's not that we're bitchy. We're just high most of the time. Bitches are just lit up everywhere. Have you ever seen a girl put on perfume? She'd be like, Okay, let's go. Where are we going? The torture we put ourselves through, it's just annoying, you know? So much suffering, there's so much pain involved in being a girl, you know? I don't think women are weak, I think women are too strong because we just endure it. We just take it, we just don't complain about it. But I do think that it manifests in other ways. Like, next time you're talking to a girl and you think she's acting like shitty or unreasonable, just remember that she's got a polyester string in her asshole. Yeah, she's probably a little stressed out, okay? We're all a little on edge, and I think that's probably why. A guy will be like, "What's up your ass?" I'm like, I can tell you right now, it's a polyester string I paid $35 for that I can't even put in the fucking dryer. Do you have a question? I feel like I'm always trying to look good for guys and it's always backfiring on me, you know? Like if I'm taking too long in the bathroom, you're taking forever in the bathroom, we're gonna miss our reservation. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just in here trying to make you think I'm pretty. I'm not in a huge rush to get to the restaurant. It's not like I can eat anything once we get there anyway. I'm fucking starving to death. I haven't had bread since '95, so just be cool, man. Then we get in trouble for that. Why are you always on a diet? You're always on a diet. I'm on a diet because I'm trying to get the body of the women you jerk off to after I fall asleep. It's not just that I love lettuce, okay? I don't love lettuce. What is the confusion? It's always something, man. Why are you always cold? That's the other one. Why are you always cold? You're always cold. I'm cold because I lasered my entire body so that you would think I'm soft, you fucking pedophile.
Lieutenant, sir, why are we here? It's zombies again.
Fast ones or slow ones, sir?
Slow.
Thank God they're slow.
Next stop, Pleasant Valley. Hi-ho, Teddy!
Aren't we having a super fun time on our trip?
I want you all in the line in front of me and away we go.
Why are we stopping?
There must be something in the way.
What is it, Miss Caroline?
Stop the tractor!
Are you okay?
Yes! Don't be scared. Who remembers how to play tag? Well, those funny-looking people out there are it.
Go away!
We have kids out here!
Oh my God, I don't give a shit.
What's happening?
We're all gonna die.
Are we gonna die, Miss Caroline?
No, it's part of the game. The zombies are not real.
Like fuck they're not!
It is a bit scary.
What are we doing? We're scared. What's the song we can sing?
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. We can't stay here indefinitely.
I'm not going anywhere. You're bigger idiots than I thought, and I thought you were both the stupidest people I've ever met.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
My job is to keep you safe. Stay here until I get back.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Fuck! That kind of behavior is unacceptable.
Max started
Max
it.
is 5 years old. And if you can't use appropriate language with a 5-year-old, I'm going to have to ask you to disembark the tractor tree and wait for us back at the bus.
If you're happy and you know it, then you make some noise. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
How do you like it, huh? Oh, God, what have I done?
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Ew, what's that?
Oh, I got caught in the middle of a jam fight. Don't taste it, okay?
With so many patterns, colors, and sizes to choose from, you'll...
This is an outbreak of disease that started in Wuhan. It's one of the central Chinese cities. It's caused by a novel coronavirus. That means it's brand new. So new that actually it doesn't have a name yet. It's from a family called the coronaviruses. The symptoms of this illness are pretty mundane on the face of it. It's a dry cough, fever, and then breathing problems. It seems quite mild in lots of people, and probably those people don't end up in hospital at all. We only know about the more severe cases, which is where people have gone on to develop viral pneumonia. And those people obviously end up in hospital, and all the deaths have been amongst those people. This brand new coronavirus came from animals, and it's believed that the source was actually a seafood market in Wuhan, which also sells wild animals. So far as we know, all the cases have come out of Wuhan. So some of these people are in places like Thailand and Japan, but they haven't picked it up there. They actually got it in Wuhan and then they travelled. In China, where the most cases are, it's older people who are ending up in hospital with this. They're usually over 40, and the very youngest person diagnosed is about 13 or 14 years old. So it doesn't appear to be affecting small children, and those who've died tend actually to have underlying conditions, as they say. They're frail, they may have heart disease or cancer already, and so they're vulnerable. Basically, their immune systems are not very robust, and they're going to find it very hard to fight off a virus. We've only just discovered that the new coronavirus is actually transmitted from one person to another. It was hoped at first, actually, that it just came from animals, as all coronaviruses do, but now it looks as though it is actually passed from one human being to another. So we've got people-to-people transmission because the market's been closed for some time, and there are cases in people who've never been near it. So there actually isn't any treatment at the moment at all. Because this is a virus, antibiotics won't work. They only work against bacteria, not viruses. So really you want an antiviral treatment, but none of the flu drugs that we've got, and we have got a couple of those, will work on this. A coronavirus is different from a flu virus. So there actually isn't any treatment at the moment at all. This one is scary because it is a brand new virus, so we don't know how it's going to behave. But I have to say, we perhaps ought to put it in the context of some of the other things. I went to Sierra Leone to cover the West Africa outbreak of Ebola, and that was killing more than half of all those people who were infected. SARS, which was a novel coronavirus, just like this one back in 2002, did end up causing a global panic. And that was largely because nobody had ever seen it before, but also the death rate was at around 10%. Well, here, so far, we're talking about a death rate of 2%, which is a lot less. And it does look as if many of those people actually have had underlying health problems, which would make it more likely that they would die. They could equally have died of flu, so you have to put it into that context, I think.
In an era of online retail where everything is just a few clicks away, buying a car should be no different. That's why at Carvana, you can buy a car 100% online. We made it easy to browse, view, and buy from over 10,000 cars. You can even trade in your old car, all while binge-watching your favorite TV show. Afterwards, we'll deliver your car to you. Or you can pick it up from one of our car vending machines. Either way, your car comes with a 7-day return policy. So grab a seat, relax in your comfy pants, and enjoy the new way to buy a car at Carvana.
In just hours from now, the Lunar New Year begins in China. But celebrations this year will be much tamer than usual.
Why, hello there. Am I giving you 1980s Miami cocaine queen pin? Yes, La Madrina. That feels offensive. I shouldn't have said that. Okay. Hi, everyone. It's Kendall here. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're not new around here, what is up, home skillet biscuit? And I can barely talk. I feel like I have a lisp. I have a broken wisdom tooth. You don't care. Anyway, but it's causing my mouth to do stuff, and it's really, really not cute. Anyway, and it's Saturday. If you don't know what Saturday is, here on my channel, it's Bad Movies and a Beat Day, the series on my channel where I talk about bad movies while putting my makeup on. Oop! Editing Kendall popping in to say I was dry as hell in this video. And that's on anemia poo. Take your iron supplements, friends, if you need it. All right, that's my PSA for today. Last week we talked about hot gimmick, girl meets boy. I don't even know what to say about that. It was an experience all its own. So if you haven't seen that video, be sure to check it out up above, or you can check it out in the Bad Movies and a Beat playlist. You're welcome. I do this organization for you, sis. Okay, so this week we are diving into the cesspool that is Lifetime TV movies, otherwise known as the fast food of female-focused entertainment. I am truly surprised that we're just now getting around to a Lifetime movie. If I'm gonna sit here and talk about crap movies, then we should have been here already. We're way too far into this to not have brought a gem from Lifetime into this. Lifetime is a largely female-focused channel that produces some of the worst media ever made, but it's so bad that it's good. They know their demographic. They know what people want. Women want sex, drugs, entertainment, danger, fantasy, affairs, and just enough drama to keep us interested with our dull suburban housewife lives. I've already become a stay-at-home mom. I don't even have kids. One of the things that Lifetime is known for largely is their propensity to remake the same movie over and over and over again. Crappy, poorly thought out rom-com, and the next one is like a noun of some sort that becomes a psycho stalker. The men, regardless of the context of the film, always look the same. They're always stereotypically novelesque. They are tall, dark, and handsome. Don't get me wrong, we like eye candy, but just like switch it up. Where do Puerto Ricans at? You never thought an Indian man could be a heartthrob? Switch it up, give me some flavor. Anyway, last week in the comments of our Bad Movies in a Beat, I had one singular person say something along the lines of, have you ever heard of Psycho Stripper on Lifetime? Psycho Stripper? Lifetime? Ugh! That centers around the bride-to-be being the object of obsession for the stripper that performed at her bachelorette party. This sounds terrible. I love it. And much like any other Lifetime movie, you can largely guess what will happen. Will it shock you? No. Will it amaze you? Perhaps, but not in the way that it's probably intending to. The movie begins with a male stripper leaving his club at the end of the night, and he's followed out by some very drunk and very aggressive patrons, female patrons. This scene is mad awkward, a lot of gratuitous flirting and just uncomfortable, unnecessary banter. Also, have you ever noticed that male strippers on TV shows and movies, they are always cowboys, and they always play like the cowboy music? Is that just me that noticed? The only men that moonlight shaking that ass for money are daytime cattle ranchers. While making his way to his car, he's attacked by someone wielding a crowbar. He's hit in the knee, he's taken down, and let me just say, we don't come back to this for most of the movie. So long that I actually forgot this even happened. Next up, we meet our female protagonist, Amber, the bride-to-be and professional ballet dancer and owner of a studio. Amber's fiance is this dude. I don't remember what his name is. I feel like Amber's fiance works enough to describe him because I didn't put his name in my notes, so I guess it worked good enough. Now, Amber's fiance actually has a past in which he was engaged to another woman, but she died under mysterious circumstances, because don't they all? But yes, he has a fiance that has died in a tragic accident. Why did I sound like Blanche Devereaux? I've always liked the company of a man, always have and always will. So Amber ends up having her bachelorette party at the dance studio that she works at. This dance studio at which no one really is particularly good at dancing. And the strippers arrive. Now, okay, not judging. Everyone has the things that are exciting to them visually, sensually, sexually, what have you. But this is undoubtedly some of the most non-sexy I've ever seen. It's just a bunch of stiff pelvic bones and uncomfortably awkward and ill-timed gyrations. Anyway, while at the party, Amber ends up striking up conversation with one of the dancers, this strapping young lad named Hunter. And fun fact, he's our psycho stripper. Who'd have saw that coming? I know I didn't. Okay. Also, by the end of the night, he attempts to roofie her 2 times in a row, 2 weeks in a row. I know. Really? I know. She never ends up drinking the drink that would have roofied her, which is why I'm confused as to why this was even added. Like, we'll have plenty of indications that he's a psycho throughout the movie. We didn't need this, but okay. Next day, Hunter comes to the studio and signs up to be a student in one of Amber's ballet classes. Now, Amber's friend, who I also didn't get her name because who cares, Amber's friend, is she, for whatever reason, is so bold, like, because she ends up flirting with Hunter and kind of presumes that he came all the way to the dance studio to see her for some reason, as if they'd had any interaction thus far in this movie. Also, he signed up to be in Amber's class, so I don't know how that sounds like, oh, he's just trying to get closer to me.
Well, then I really don't know whether to be jealous or flattered.
Why would you be either?
Well, jealous because Amber gets to see you in her class every day, or flattered because in a last-ditch effort to get closer to me, you signed up to her classes.
I don't know if it's admirable or kind of foolish, you know, just like, I know you've given no indication that you're interested in me, but of course you are. He does not blink enough. Okay, and I've said this before, and I'll say it forever. Whenever I see someone in fiction or real life who does not blink enough, you know they're crazy. There's an amount of blinking that every human should do to indicate that they know how to human, right? I'm pretty sure this is what happens when you hire models that have absolutely no acting experience. They knew what they were making. Trash. We just want them to look good. You don't need to do anything else well. We just need him to look good. Anywho, Amber's a little freaked out when Hunter kind of invites her to lunch as if she doesn't have a whole ass fiance. And his excuse is that he wants them to go out together so that he can get some intel on her friend in a way to better seduce her. As if we're blind and stupid. As if he isn't tall, muscular, attractive, and a stripper who therefore has a whole job centered around his ability to be sensual and sexual. But lucky us, she is an idiot, so she goes. And there's a lot of this one-sided sexual tension on his side, and she just looks uncomfortable. Ooh, dance break! He ends up having sex with Amber's friend while looking at the picture of her and Amber. That actually made me mad. Randomly this chick appears and seems to be very intense from the jump. She is actually the wedding planner.
You the stripper? Of course you are. So what are you really doing here, bud?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So what's your last name, lover boy?
Wait a second, did she just forget her line right there?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So what's your last name, lover boy?
They didn't feel the need to edit that out. Ooh, the ghetto. She's in basically 2 scenes, one in which she's chewing out this virtual stranger. I mean, rightfully so, but she doesn't really know enough about him to chew him out like that. I don't know why everyone's so intuitive. And then when she gets stabbed, by the way, in the scuffle, she ends up stabbing him in the leg. And for some reason, he's just in no pain. He has no limp. He left with a limp, but he has no limp. And he arrives at this wedding party completely unannounced and uninvited. Continuing on with this theme of people hating this dude from the jump, very aggressive towards him when he gets there.
Is he like a muscle model or something?
No, actually, I'm an exotic dancer. The pay's way better.
You're being serious about the whole exotic dancer thing?
Yeah.
Wait, oh my God. I need some proof. Are you wearing a thong right now?
I mean, granted, he is uninvited and unannounced, but he's not a stranger. Usually when people do something ignorant like that, you like say, hey, what you doing here? And then you talk about him behind your back. Well, we need more realistic human interactions. Like, Amber's fiance starts to get a vibe that this dude actually is interested in her, like, because of how he looks at her and yada yada yada. Men know men, am I right? I don't know why I turned British to say that, whatever. Yeah, he's like, something's fishy about this dude. I don't like the way he looks at you. At the same time, the friend ends up noticing that there is a little splotch of blood on Hunter's neck. And she's like, what's going on? And he was like, oh, I just got it while shaving. But he actually got it while he was killing the wedding planner. I'm so invested. Now, this rehearsal scene goes on for what feels like a literal eternity. But at the end of it, I keep wanting to call her Beck. Right? She's giving off Beck vibes, right? I'm sorry. Amber is, dancing with a friend, but she doesn't really want to dance with him. So it's this kind of like, oh, I don't feel like dancing. No, I don't want to dance kind of thing. And here comes Hunter, super revved up and super aggressive, like, get off her, man!
Hey, get your hands off her!
My impersonation's spot on. Get off her, man! There's an ongoing joke in my comments that I laugh more at my jokes than anyone else does. But yeah, he's really aggressive. He's like, yo, get off her. He's pushing. There's an altercation. He's really combative, right? And he goes in, he's arguing with this group of people like, you guys look down on me because I'm a stripper. And then the fiance comes up and he's like, yo, you need to get out of here. And while they're like arguing, Hunter plants a seed that the fiance is actually cheating on Amber.
Rich, courteous, career boys in public. Then you cheat behind your fiance's back every chance you get.
This is not the case. This kind of comes out of nowhere, but it's intended to plant a seed of doubt in their relationship in an effort to get them away from each other. After being thrown out of the event, Hunter goes home and he calls this one random girl that he ends up having sex with earlier in the movie. I just skipped it because it wasn't really that important. And he devises a plan to pay her to go to Amber's house and say she's having an affair with her fiance. I ain't never... Y'all be committed to this crazy. Fascinating. Also, he is not on a phone. Okay, more inappropriate advances from Hunter. He gives her lingerie while at the dance studio, even though she was like, I don't think it's a good idea that you're here, like, leave.
I can't deny you find me sexy. Maybe if we just kiss.
Hunter, stop! Just stop!
Amber, why are you being such a bitch again?
No. Okay, so after that, the friend comes in and pushes him away all lackluster. We gotta put some elbow grease in and beat his ass. Around this time, the family finds out about the wedding planner's death because they were talking about like, where'd she go? She ain't at the wedding rehearsal or dinner or whatever. What happened to her? Well, she did, sis. That's why she couldn't make it. She was preoccupied. I assumed it has something to do with Hunter because Hunter's crazy. So the closest crazy person we know is Hunter. He probably did it. Also because he had blood on his neck. So they were like, yeah, he definitely did it. Blood on his neck. He killed her. That's not good detective work. It would not hold up in court. But hey, for a crappy Lifetime movie, it is perfectly good enough to sew together these loosely related thread of events. Now to get some intel, they end up going to the club that Hunter works at, only to find out that he no longer works there and that he hadn't worked there for a hot minute, about a year and a half.
Oh, not since he went out of his damn mind.
His girlfriend was killed.
He kept losing his temper here at work, partying too hard with the ladies, getting in fights with the other dancers.
If he doesn't work here, how did he get hired for my bachelorette?
Well, our other guy, Boone, was supposed to work, but got his knee busted by some thug the night before and ended up in the hospital.
Now, y'all heard that the same way I did, right? Tell me why, after this, for some reason, this dude is like, for some reason, that unrelated information makes me believe that Hunter knew my fiance that died, and he might have had something to do with her death.
This is the guy that Megan was engaged to before she met me.
Wait, this is the Megan, your ex who died?
What? How did we get here? I don't understand how you heard he had a fiance that died a year and a half ago around the same time that your fiance died, and you're like,
I don't know, because technically they weren't broken up before we got together.
You were seeing her whilst she was still engaged to him.
He hit her, she bailed, she was done with him. Apparently he doesn't see it that way, though. So I guess I never saw him in person, but I know from a photo that she showed me that this is the guy.
What? So you're telling me that this movie could have been over at the bridal party where he showed up, where you saw him for the first time?
We got
Amber's current fiance dated the same girl that Hunter did. So the girl that died, they both dated her. And apparently Hunter feels like old dude stole his girlfriend and he killed her because he couldn't deal with the emotions or something. And now he's back to ruin old dude's life because he's gonna take away Amber from him. Was that confusing? Anyway, also, if old girl died a year and a half ago, Amber's fiance is marrying her very soon. You telling me since the death of your first fiance, it took you just 1.5 years to find someone and plan to get married again? Is the chick even cold in the ground yet? I would be offended. If I would come back and haunt old dude for the rest of his ever-loving life. How dare you? The least you could have did is mourn my loss. He ain't even had time to cry. Loose powder. Sorry. More creepy stuff from Hunter. He starts sending photoshopped versions of the wedding invitations that says his name and hers. That's some sassing, ain't it? That's what them crazed fans be sending K-pop people with like a vial of their blood. Honestly, I think that's in the Psycho fan starter kit. But even after discovering this very unnerving fact, for some reason they're not that pressed about it. They're like, decorations, gotta get around to that. Decoration. So we're nearing the final stretch. The dude that Hunter got in a fight with at the bridal reception dinner or something like that, he ends up killing him because he didn't follow rule number 1, which is never turn your back on a crazy person. He then goes to attack Amber's fiance and is subsequently hit in the head with a glass bottle, and he leaves completely unscathed. What is it with like psycho movies like this and people getting hit with glass bottles and they're just like, wow, that was inconvenient. But yeah, he walks away completely unscathed and makes a mistake, quote unquote, and kills the friend and seems to be really broken up about it. I don't really know why this particular murder was so horrifying for him. It really impressed him in some way or another, in the negative sense, of course. And then Amber subsequently runs as slow as physically possible away from this deranged killer man. Boot it up. Put some nitrous in you. Act like you want to live. A lot of playing cat and mouse, suspenseful music. She ends up spraying him in the eyes with some hairspray, making him fall backwards over the balcony and falling on a very, very conveniently found axe. I guess it was supposed to be symbolic because he was a stripper that dressed up like a fireman. But anyway, he falls on it and dies. And because the thing that was most important is the wedding, because this is Lifetime, they do eventually get married. I just feel like we should have seen some of that grieving, because didn't they lose like 2 friends in one night? I mean, maybe I'm asking for too much, but can I see a little trauma? But anyway, I'm sure because it's a TV movie, we got specific time guidelines, so wrap it up. Get to it. Get married. Okay, that's it. But yes, this movie is good old-fashioned, cheesy, made for TV goodness. Is it awful? Yes. But is it what I expected? Also yes. With that said, the movie is somewhat forgettable. Lifetime is quite formulaic. They tend to just say, give me a hot guy, make it sexy, make it dangerous. No. That's all for today, folks. If you like this video, be sure to like this video. Follow me on all my social media, Instagram and Twitter, both of which are KennyJD. Any recommendations for bad movies and a beat for next week, be sure to put them down in the comment section, and I will see you guys next time. Peace. Switched it up, didn't say bye this time. Gotcha. Every night, every day, till we're on my way. I'm the only person that likes this song, apparently. Because honestly, it's just a K-pop song in English. I think that's what's... Anyway. Anymore, you're gonna be my girlfriend. Then soon thereafter, there's this weird ass kiss scene with the Carrot Top dude. Also, at some point during this kiss, he brings up like his parents' divorce and how his mom cheated on his dad, like while he's trying to kiss her. I'm gonna find out it's kind of a way to allude to a later storyline, but it's just added in there sloppy AF. Anyway, Carrot Top invites her to a party where he roofies her, right? It escalated quickly. I know. I was as confused as you are. And before he can sexually assault her, her brother ends up saving her from this party. I don't know why he knew this party was happening, why he just happened to be there. Nothing makes sense. Why am I trying to make this make sense? Speaking of her brother, I haven't really addressed the brother yet. Yeah. Throughout the movie, there's a lot of uncomfortable sexual tension from him towards Hatsumi. And I was just hoping that we wasn't gonna get no incest. I don't want to watch no incest. It's Japan. I would not put it past. Not saying that every Japanese manga has incest, but I'm just saying I've been blindsided before Vampire Night. Just saying. Apparently, he is, as we'll find out later, he's actually adopted. He's not her blood brother. He's adopted. He was adopted before she was born, and he is in love with her. It's creepy regardless if they were related or not related, because you've seen someone grow up their entire life. It's just something icky about that. But then also, it's just my Western sensibilities perhaps, but like, she's 16. This whole thing had me looking into like age of consent in Japan. Apparently, did not know this, it's 13. So technically not illegal, but still icky. But anyway, yeah, for the first like big chunk of the movie, you don't know that they're not related. So there's this weird kind of like, why are you staring at her like that? Ugh. And I still say stop staring at her like that. It's still weird and kind of gross, but yeah. But it's not incest. So we hit the bare minimum. It's not incest. Anyway, after the party, she gets home and Carrot Top calls her, and he ends up FaceTiming her and convincing her like get naked for him in a video. Again, another situation in which this movie, if this scene were taken and made into like a better movie, it was actually very effective in making me feel incredibly uncomfortable in a way that I think was the point. Like, she's super innocent and she's bearing her all to him, and it's very awkward and uncomfortable to watch, and intimate to watch, especially knowing, as we do as the audience, that he's literal garbage. Like, if it were in a better movie, it would have been more effective as a scene. But the next day, the video that she had taken for him is sent to her brother. Well, her non-brother, her not brother, but still, ew. And come to find out, his motive is because he is out for vengeance. Carrot Top is out for vengeance. Hatsumi's dad is the reason why his family, Carrot Top's family, has broken up. His mother had an affair with her father, and he just wants to hurt her for some reason. I don't know what that has.
But what program are you using? I may try to practice drawing, guys, in a minute. Just to alleviate boredom and practice.
It's wet art, but it's in there. So when you go back out, it's a symbol. So what you have to do after that is once you paste it in there.
I got like 7 more hours here, so yeah. What's up with Beast Boy? His head seemed too small.
So yeah. And then you call that macro. His tutorial on YouTube or whatever.
Oh, sweet.
But yeah, so then you I can show you if you want. Only if you have the time. Yeah. You have the time. Yeah. I don't want to stop the flow. Yeah. No, it's cool. I think I will.
Wait, but if it's slouchy, then it wouldn't do this. Wait, I'm confused. Let's go this one. Because the shading's pretty good. Nah, we'll just look at that later. Let me see. Your foot looks weird. Something's up about it. It doesn't feel right. Then I feel like something's going on in this area too. Maybe you need to put like a fold here. Make it more organic. I just read Jiggles. And I was like, we have like this chill. What I like is like the color. It feels so warm. It's like nice and bright. I like the attitude it goes into emotion. What else do we do? Look at the most interesting ones, like this one. Yeah. Nice perspective, so I'll be practicing today. I'm going to practice you. I wish I can't see everything, you know. It's just like I won't be able to. Like that's probably good, like shadow studies. So, boop, boop. So what? You. I kind of like this because I feel like he should be up against it more. But then I can also be like, depends. I like to bend it a little bit because it feels kind of right. Not like anyone talks to me anymore. Just like here. Let's see. was like, I don't know anymore. I don't. Just don't. I try my best and then I end up being screwed over anyway. So I'm just like, whatever. But I keep trying and trying until it works and somehow. Let me see. It's like usually when it turns to the side. Just save real quick.
알잖아.
I mean, I just like their costumes. It's demeanor. I have to listen to these later.
To do with her, but okay. He's vengeful. He hates their entire family, so he went for her. Oh, of course, Incel is back because he has to defend her honor. Like, as awful as he is, the only thing that he does right is that he tells her to stop apologizing because Carrot Top is so hurt, she feels like she needs to apologize to him as if she's done something wrong. And he's like, shut the hell up, you dumb bitch. Stop apologizing.
キラキラしてて。
しつこいよ。黙れ。
私は暑さが。
俺の奴隷のくせに他の奴の名前ばっか呼ぶなよ。バカ。信じられん。騙されたんだぞ。お前は正規の愚か者だよ。
What? What the hell is going on? Like, again, another situation where they're just throwing scenes together. What? Skipping ahead, Hatsumi finds out that her brother isn't really her brother and that he's adopted. Oh, and then this scene makes no freaking sense because should I even talk about it? Because it's like really out of nowhere. But quick Spark Notes version. Hatsumi's brother is moving out because he can't be near her. She's like, he's too in love with her and being near her is painful. So he's gonna move out and he ends up moving in with this long hair dude. And as he's like moving out, this scene happens.
後付け家族なんちゅうのはそう名付けられただけの男と女や。
Again, another situation where y'all just added scenes in because it sounded cool. And it would be a quick way to get them BL girls into this. It was so erotic for no reason. I was like, okay, is he gonna start dating a man? No. I don't think this roommate even comes up again in the rest of the movie. Hatsumi and non-brother get caught in an elevator and they kiss, right? And if I'm not mistaken, right, he doesn't know that she knows that they're not related. So as far as he knows, she thinks that he's her brother and he still goes for it. Oh
Oh God. So, Incel finds out that his dad is the one that broke up Carrot Top's family, and he's like super distraught about that. And of course, as everyone knows, sex solves all of your problems. So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go smash old girl. He has a condom and he like dramatically throws it away. And she's like, you threw it. I don't know why that's so funny to me. Yo. I'm sorry, there's just little things about this movie that crack me up. My reading comprehension is not where it's supposed to be because I did not just read this dude say, I'm trying to get you pregs, man, so that you have to live with me forever. But before that can happen, he ends up telling her that his dad is who broke up Carrot Top's family. And I don't know why this is relevant, but that like breaks up their relationship. I don't know. I don't know why this is important. I don't know why this is relevant at all. After she learns this fact, she starts crying about some that has nothing to do with what she's like, I wanted you to be the first person to see me naked, which is not true. She says that as if we haven't seen the rest of the movie where she wanted the other dude to see her naked because that's why she got naked. She's like, you're the only one I wanted to see me naked. And then she like dramatically runs out in slow motion and he's crying and I don't understand. This movie is a dumpster fire. Like, it makes no sense at all, and I'm kind of living. Anyway, after this, she's so distraught, so she goes over to brother's house and she ends up staying with him for a bit, and that's where my favorite scene happens because she runs away, she goes to his house and she's there and basically tries to like say, have sex with me. Someone please make a gif out of this. Dead. I need attention. I need belly rubs. Someone feed me. Ew, what the fuck? And then this nigga just laying it. And then after that, she ends up back with Incel. I don't know either, guys. She just ends up back with him. Then we have possibly one of the most incoherent scenes I've ever seen in my life in anything. You know what? I was about to sit here and try to explain what this is, but I don't think words can express how disorienting this scene is. So even at the risk of being bent over the proverbial knee of daddy demonetization, I want to put as much of this scene as I can without editing as possible.
だから今は一緒にいたい。誰よりも。
お前それディスってんの？褒めてるつもり？俺のものになれよ。
なのできないよ。私の顔も、私の声も、私の手も、私のものだもん。
お前自分が可愛いからって開きの愛になっても同じこと言えんのか。お前がクソババアになったお前のこと愛も変わらず求めてやってるのなんて俺くらいになるんだから。お前といたいんだ。お前の耳聞いてる。お前の頭分かってる。
分かってるよ。
じゃあお前絶対に生でやらせろ。血なんて混ぜればいいだ。お前の血と混じればまだマシになる。そんなこと思えんとお前ぐらいなんだ。
Like just reading that is a lot. Yeah, no. Yeah. First off, to my son, no, that's yeah. Like yeah, no, it's not even a choto. It's a straight up no. I'm like, what? It'll be the scariest day of my life if someone said that shit to me. I'll be like, what the fuck? What you say?